Kính thưa quý vị quan khách, quý vị lãnh đạo tinh thần, quý vị lãnh đạo của các đoàn thể, distinguished guests, and leader of the religious leaders, community leaders. I am going to speak in English because the massacre of Hue we all know. But our distinguished guests, maybe they will learn a little bit of our darkest day, of our dark history. So, bear with me. I'm going to speak in English a little bit and let them know a little bit about the history of this dark day. So, I'm going to speak in English instead of Vietnamese for you. His Worship, the Mayor, Minister, Councillors, as you have known, the 10th Offensive Massacre in Hue 1968 is the name given to the summary of execution of massacre, killing perpetrated by the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese Communist regime during the capture, occupation, and the later withdrawal during the capture of occupation in Hue. According to New York Times, Washington Post, evidence shows that during their captivities, more than 10,000 people died, 3,000 bodies found in mass graves after the 10th offensives in 1968. They were victims of the communists. In 1971, journalist Don Oberdorf presented in his book called Ted. He spent 5 days with Paul Wiggle, an American English professor, showed the evidence that thousands of political executions carried out by the Vietnamese Communist regime. Many of these were revenge killing. Victims were women, children, and infants. Not only the Vietnamese people suffering those massacres. We have 3 professors, Horst Gunther Koenig, Dr. Alios Attenkoster, and Dr. Raymond Dischke, who taught at Hue University, Faculty of Medicine, and they were members of the West German Cultural Mission. They were arrested, executed by the North Vietnamese troop. Their body was discovered in the mass grave near Hue, along many Vietnamese civilians also executed. Among those 3 Germans, we have 2 priests, French, Father Urban, Father Guy, in the mass grave with 18 others. We have 2 Americans, Stephen Miller, Connie and I, working for NBC. So we can see that it's not only the Vietnamese who suffer, but also from foreigners. A.J. Venema, a Dutch-Canadian doctor who lived in Hue and witnesses the battle at the massacre, wrote in the book, The Viet Cong Massacre at Hue in 1976. He recounts numerous stories that murder, burial alive, and execution stop. As you can see, you're going to hear many, many other stories that the witness who saw the victim buried alive, captured, hunted down by the Vietnamese Communist regime. This is the genocide. This is the genocide. This is a crime against humanity. I recall a book written by Douglas Pike, professor, later passed away in 2002. He said, in his book, Viet Cong Strategy of Terror, in page 23 to 39, he wrote, in memory of the 7,600 civilians murdered in Hue by the Vietnamese communists, he said this, there was no organized outcry. It made no impact on the world's mind or conscience. No demonstrations at the North Vietnamese around the world. In a tone beyond bitterness, the people there will tell you that the world does not know what happened in Hue, or if it does, does not care. Well, as you can see, the Vietnamese overseas, especially in Canada, we do care. Thank you.